Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and today I'm taking a look at Trumbull Mall in Trumbull, Connecticut. The last time I was here was back in September of 2022, which makes it one of the first malls I ever filmed. Back then, this mall was still owned by Westfield Group and was officially called Westfield Trumbull, even though pretty much everyone still called it the Trumbull Mall. At the time, my impression was that the mall seemed to be doing okay, but there were some indications that it may be a dying mall, as there really weren't that many customers and there were a good number of vacant stores. Today, however, this mall is owned by everyone's favorite mall owner, Namdar, which is somewhat concerning as they're notorious for not always maintaining their malls and rarely making any attempts to improve or revitalize them. Luckily though, as you'll soon see, the Trumbull Mall is, as of the filming of this video, still doing fairly well, especially when compared to Namdar's other Connecticut malls such as Crystal Mall, Meriden Mall, and Enfield Square. How long it'll stay that way is anyone's guess, as there are some indications that the mall may be in the early stages of struggling, as there are quite a few stores at this mall that have either already closed or will be closing in the near future. Now come along with me and my mom and let's take a look around. We're about here. Yeah, so I remember it's kind of on the second floor, it's like a
strange setup.
It's like an 8.
So
we'll go
here?
We're here, we'll go like this.
Oh, it does go all around.
But then up here, it goes all the way around, but then there's a center section. I was looking to see if it still said Westfield on it. They updated it. Notice some of their other malls.
Yeah.
This is the Namdar Mall.
Yeah.
That they still have the old owners' names on their signs. This one does not. Construction on this mall began in 1962, and it officially opened for business in 1964 as the Trumbull Shopping Park. It was developed by the Frode Corporation, designed by Anthony M. Pavia, and was Connecticut's first enclosed mall. The mall was then sold to Westfield in 1977, making this the first Westfield-owned mall in the entire United States. It remained a Westfield mall up until 2023, and today you can still see the shadows of the old Westfield logos scattered around the mall. When the mall first opened, it was roughly a quarter of the size it is now. Since then, there were major expansions and renovations in the early 70s, the mid-80s, the early 90s, and most recently around 2009 to 2010. The original anchor stores were Corvettes and DM Reed, both of which are long gone, and in fact there's very little remaining of the original mall, but as we do our walkthrough, I'll point out what I believe remains of the original mall. And as you can see, that escalator is out of order. The up escalator is working now. And this JCPenney, as well as this entire wing of the mall, was added in 1987. I think this is one of the first times I've ever seen anybody actually using one of these trampoline things. Remember they used to have one just like this at the Buckland Hills Mall in Manchester, but I don't remember ever seeing anybody use it. They seem awfully young for that. Yeah. This is where the aquarium was. Sequest the aquarium. Of course, it used to stink down here like an aquarium. The Sequest was here from 2019 until it closed in 2023, apparently due to complaints about cleanliness and the safety of the animals. I'd actually been considering doing a walkthrough of the Sequest, but of course it closed before I got a chance. And by the way, does the name Sequest remind anybody else of the 90s sci-fi show starring Roy Scheider? It was like on a giant futuristic submarine. That's all I can think of whenever I see that name. From what I understand, over the years, this mall has remained generally successful. I don't think it ever achieved dead mall status or really even got too close. Like most malls, of course, it has gone through some hard times over the years, especially during and after the pandemic, but overall, I would still classify this mall as doing just fine, especially when I compare it to most of the other malls I've visited. But, of course, let me know what you think about that in the comments. That being said, a major issue with this mall, not unlike at the Brass Mill Center Mall in Waterbury, is the high crime rate, which many have blamed on its close proximity to the city of Bridgeport. According to numerous online sources, Bridgeport is in the top 5 for cities with the highest crime rates in Connecticut. Personally, I've never felt unsafe here or had any problems, but apparently there is a big issue with gun-related crimes, muggings, vehicle thefts, etc. As a result, you've probably noticed that the mall has security cameras almost everywhere. There are security guards doing constant rounds, and they even have a police substation, which they added to the mall in 2003. Recently, they also added a curfew for minors. From what I understand, if you're a minor, or actually I think it's under 17, you must be accompanied by an adult on Saturdays after 4 p.m. Which I guess makes sense, because that's probably going to be the busiest time for the mall to have like young kids in it.
This is one of the rare open Hollisters. Yeah. Most of these are either closed or there's something else now. They're not Hollister.
And don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall videos, store walkthroughs, and of course flea markets coming up. Thanks.
Doesn't seem like you'd normally come to a mall to get acne treatment.
This is where the original anchor store DM Reed was located. It wasn't in this actual building, as the original building was demolished in 2007, but this is where the original building was located. The DM Reeds became Jordan Marsh in 87, Abraham and Strauss in 92, and then it finally became the Macy's in 95. And then the Macy's actually moved from this location into the old Filene's location in 2006, where it is today. And this Target's been here since 2008. Not sure what used to be there straight ahead. If anybody knows, though, let me know in the comments. Not sure when this Rainbow closed, but I think it was fairly recently. It was definitely open the last time I was here in 2023. Same with this Track 23 right here. That was also open last time I was here. And you'll see that a lot in this mall. There's a lot of stores in here that say going out of business soon. It's actually kind of shocking how many are closing up shop. On the left, here's a store called Fun Stop. This is new. I don't remember this being here last time. And this is not to be confused with the new arcade that moved in called Fun Spot. Very similar names, though. Here's the food court, or as they call it, the dining terrace. This was added in 2010 as part of a $35 million renovation to the mall. And from what I've read, Stephen Barry's used to be located here, or at least somewhere in this vicinity. And I also read that there was a smaller food court at one point, but I'm not exactly sure where that original food court was located. It does appear that there's a few vacant spots in here, like these spaces on the left, but overall this food court seems to be doing very well. I mean, obviously it's one of the busiest food courts I've been to in a very long time, and this was filmed at about 3 p.m. on a Sunday, so this wasn't even like peak lunch hour.
Yummy, my friend. I say cho xem xem. You want honey?
No, thanks. Oh, did you? Is it any good?
This mall has a lot of firsts. It's the first enclosed mall in Connecticut, the first mall owned by Westfield Group, and it's also got the first FYE in Connecticut, which also happens to be now the last FYE in Connecticut. I did do a walkthrough of this FYE. I was going to include it in this video, but it ended up being like 20 minutes, so I just thought that was too long to include in this mall video, so I think I'll do it as a separate video at some point in the future. So stay tuned for that. Straight ahead where the Macy's is today, that was originally the Corvette's Food Center, which eventually became a Waldbaum's, and then I believe in 78 it became a G. Fox, then in 93 it became Filene's, and then finally in 2006 Macy's moved into this location.
There's a little arcade hiding back here.
This is the Fun Spot Arcade. We're just coming in the back door. It opened in 2024. And as far as I know, it has no relation to the original Fun Spot in Laconia, New Hampshire, which I did a walkthrough of last year. This Fun Spot is actually owned by the parent company of Chuck E. Cheese, and I believe it might be the first Fun Spot in Connecticut. It seems to have replaced the WoW Arcade, which closed sometime after my last visit to the mall in 2022. It's actually not a bad little arcade. It's nowhere near as big, of course, as the Fun Spot in New Hampshire, but it's not bad. It's definitely bigger than most of the WoW arcades I've been to, and there's definitely way more people here than at the WoW arcades, which are normally vacant, in my experience.
It's a fancy looking ski ball. Could go fishing. It's one of those VR things. I never see people ever using this because I wouldn't want to put that on my face here at the mall. Like, somebody's got pink eye or something. I was thinking it was going to be bigger than that. All right, I think we're almost back to where we came in. Yeah, we came in here. So we have to go back to the escalator down there. So closing Forever 21. Guess it wasn't forever.
No.
Did those people jump over there? You said people were walking down this. Yeah. Last time I was here, that was a 7-Eleven.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So now the question is, what does the future hold for the Trumbull Mall? I'm honestly not sure. Like I mentioned, the fact that it's owned by Namdar does not fill me with confidence, but then again, it's almost 2 years after they bought the mall, and it appears to still be doing reasonably well, so fingers crossed it'll stay that way. From what I've read, there is some talk that they might be trying to add a Stu Leonard supermarket here, a Dave & Buster's, possibly a pickleball court and rock climbing walls, etc. Basically food and entertainment related businesses rather than just retail stores, which most of us would probably agree have become much less relevant in the age of Amazon and other online retailers. Personally, I think moving away from primarily retail is the right move because other than to film these videos, I'd really only want to go to a mall if they had something I can't really get online, such as restaurants, especially themed restaurants, supermarkets and entertainment options like arcades, theaters, rope courses, and other things like that. So if the Trumbull Mall does go ahead with adding businesses like that, I think they have a good chance of surviving at least a little bit longer. Ultimately, though, I'd say it's down to what Namdar decides to do. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Do you think the Trumbull Mall is going to survive? Or do you think it's going to become one of Connecticut's next dead malls? Let me know.
Sports Fever looks like. Another one of those eyebrow places. Looks like this place is closing too. Top notch. I always think it's funny when you see the computers like this. That's the computer screen sideways. It's supposed to be a display, but this is the problem has been detected and Windows has been shut down to prevent damage to your computer. The blue screen of death, as they call it. Made by hand? Is that the name of it? Oh, there's a cheesecake factory. Maybe we can go there for lunch? We'll do that at the end. Yeah, it's called Made by Hand, handcraft. I like the design with all the trees. Yeah. They've got outdoor seating too. Outdoor seating. Oh, this used to be a Lord and Taylor down here. Oh, it still says Lord and Taylor.
I believe this wing of the mall and that Lord and Taylor were added during the 92-93 renovation of the mall. On the right, I believe this used to be Ruby Tuesdays up until 2016. In 2017, a Wahlburgers moved in, but then they closed in 2020. It was replaced by this Guacamole's in 2022, but it looks like it's closed since then. It was open, though, when I was here back in 2022.
This used to be a Guacamole's.
As you can see, they've got the front of this Lord and Taylor all covered over, but luckily a little piece of it's missing, so I was able to get my cell phone camera up there and get a little bit of video of the interior. And as you can see, it's in like perfect condition. It still has the sale prices on the fixtures there. You see those? That's crazy. And it's been closed for, I think, 5 years now, since 2020. And there's the old WoW Arcade, which was open when I was here last time in 2022.
Yep. There's a kids club. Oh yeah, that's where we were before. So we're going to walk down this hallway and then come back and then the exit that way. And that's security, I think.
All right, so right now we are in the original mall. This is the original hallway for the mall. At the end where the Target is, that used to be the DM Reed. And behind us where the Macy's is, that was EJ Corvette.
A lot of empty stores down this way.
Yeah, it seems like the vast majority of vacancies in this mall are down this hallway for some reason. Probably because it's off the beaten path. Like if you're just doing a circle of the mall, you might miss this hallway possibly. That's my only guess.
Looks like this place is closing too. Let it full, everything must go.
On the left, this is Pandora, and they're only letting a couple people in the store at one time, and then the rest have to line up like that. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Bath and Body Works.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're almost back to the JCPenney, and if you remember from before, that down escalator is broken, so we had to turn around and head the other way. But along the way, there were a few more sights to see, and then we did get lunch at the Cheesecake Factory. Alright, so let's head on in.
Looks like it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Say, held the door for them too. Say, up here. Up here. Hey, two?
Alright, so almost 1 hour and $60 later, we are done with lunch. Have to say, I love the Cheesecake Factory. Great atmosphere, great food, but service, a little bit on the slow side. Not too bad, though.
Straight ahead. Oh, it's right here.
Alright, so there's the inside of the Trumbull Mall, but as always, don't go anywhere yet. Next, we're going to do a drive around of the mall to see what it looks like from the outside.
Jeez.
Here's the JCPenney, which has been here since '87. And once again, I would say they almost certainly have not updated their facade since '87. And I could be wrong, but I don't think any JCPenney has ever really updated their exterior. They all seem to look exactly like they did on opening day. The last time I was here, this parking garage was closed. It opened in '85, and it actually collapsed in 2022, shortly before I filmed the first video here. It wasn't an entire collapse, of course, but part of it collapsed, so it was unsafe. They closed it off, and I don't think it reopened until either 2023 or 2024. I'm not exactly sure when it opened again, but what we're driving on right now is completely refurbished. Here's a couple ghost signs or label scars. We got Sequest there on the left, and then the old Westfield logo. I always wonder why they don't paint over those old logos, because I think they look terrible when they're just, label scars like that. And again, this used to be the original anchor store DM Reed, or at least this is where it was. The building was demolished in '07, and then this building with the Target was built in 2008. I wonder when Lord & Taylor is going to actually take down their sign. I've been to a lot of malls where Lord & Taylor keeps their signs up years and years after they've closed. Not sure what that's all about. The only reason they removed the one at West Farms Mall is because a Jordan's moved in. All right, and there you have it. That's the Trumbull Mall in Trumbull, Connecticut. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall videos, store walkthroughs, and of course flea markets coming up. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.